Hello guys, and welcome to my channel Balkan Walks 66. Today I would like to watch this video together with you. But not only to watch it, but also to discuss the problem that is very important for me and maybe crucial for some other guys living in some European cities. I called this video like the ultimate guide, ultimate survival guide for longboard beginners in the city or something like this. So what is the point? I live in Belgrade, Serbia, and often I get intercepted by some people on the streets, just random guys. This is normal here, totally okay. I am riding, and so they ask me like, what is it? What is this board? It is not a skateboard, then what is it? How much it costs, and so on, many different questions. So I have noticed that many of people, they really are interested in such things, such boards, but months and years pass and I don't see many new longboarders. So the only longboarders I see here, beginner ones, are the ones that I personally catch on the streets, maybe on some cheap boards, ride together, on some friends of mine that just that are interested and can attend lessons in person or something like this. So my main goal and the goal I would like to achieve is enlarging the community, our local community in Belgrade. For now, I only see like one way to do it is just to spread the information, spread as much as possible among the people who could be interested, but somehow they have some obstacles, something preventing them from becoming a longboarder and so on. So today let's speak about one particular way of longboarding. It's called commuting or cruising the city, or say it something like this. So there are plenty of videos out there on YouTube about what is longboarding, what kind of boards are there available, what is the difference between a longboard, a skateboard, some other forms of boards. There are several of them. But for now, I would like to speak about cruising, commuting, and so on, and what can be done to increase the amount of guys cruising through the city. Why I filmed this video? Well, this is mainly because I wanted to show you that I don't use bike lanes or roads. Yes, partially yes, because if you've been here on this channel for a while, you might have read some comments like, hey, Belgrade, it's such a beautiful city to ride in from all over the world. So the guys from all over the world write me in the comments here on YouTube that Belgrade is the finest city to ride longboard. Can you imagine this? Yes, Belgrade is the finest city in the world, maybe. But I know that there are cities, even here in Serbia, that are more suitable for driving longboards. For example, Novi Sad. We don't see much video from there, from the local community in Novi Sad, but okay. So Belgrade. When people write me in the comment section here that Belgrade is the finest city to ride longboard, I totally agree. But when I translate this to some local guys living here, I tell them, Belgrade is really suitable for riding your longboard. just try it, give it a try. They say, wow, how can it be? The tarmac is not perfect. Well, the tiles, as you may see on this video, they are sometimes rough, not aligned, not leveled, and so on, and there is a terrain. Actually, Belgrade is standing on hills, and hills are everywhere, and rather steep hills. So this video, well, demonstrates that there are really ways to overcome all those city obstacles. Yeah, like this one, because, you know, I could easily ride over this thing, but because it is full of water and it's rather deep, it's like maybe 5 centimeters deep, but it's okay for riding. I will not fall down, but the water could get inside my pivot cup of the rear truck, and then it begins squeezing. I don't like this sound much, so sorry, I had to stop and just get it over with my foot. Anyway, you see, I'm riding. I'm really enjoying my ride, and during this video, it's actually about 40 minutes long. I commuted like about 10 kilometers. So for maybe this is the average distance many of us commute. And this distance actually suits the longboard perfectly. So what prevents the people from going for a ride instead of taking a bus, a taxi, or even a bicycle? Okay, let's just discuss several facts. I am the guy in mid-40s, so I'm not very young. I'm not a sportsman in any way. I'm just an ordinary guy with some weight I would like to lose, and well, I'm not an experienced rider, so I qualify myself as a beginner, or maybe like upper beginner going to intermediate level in longboard commuting. So I can do some simple base tricks like pushing with both legs, foot braking, pumping, and so on. Well, I'm not in a very good shape. I'm not fit. So if you tell me go and run 15 kilometers, I would probably fail. I would hardly do maybe 7 or 8 here in Belgrade, because yeah, there are steep hills here. But this does not prevent me from riding like 40 kilometers in a row in a little bit more than 2.5 hours or something like this. So if you want to ride some distances on longboard, you can definitely do it. But why should you prefer longboard to, for example, a bicycle or some other means of transport, like maybe like roller skis or rollerblades? I don't know how these things are called. But okay, let's discuss this. First of all, of course, each transport has its own advantages and disadvantages. Among the biggest advantages of longboards, I'd say it is price and size and weight. Usually bicycles, they are not very cheap, and yeah, I know that there are cheap bicycles, but let's not talk about shitty ones from grocery shops, okay? I mean, if you really want a good bicycle, it will probably cost you more than 500 euros, and it can easily go up to 10,000 euros. I know what I'm talking about because I used to be a road bike racer in my past. I had 4 bicycles. I know the price, yeah, and the efforts bicycle riders put to be fit and to enjoy all their rides. So okay, this board, it is called Pantheon Supersonic from the guys called Pantheon. It cost me like something like 400 euros, and this is probably one of the best boards, more or less universal boards you would like to buy. So if you want just simple commuting and riding some maybe long distances, this is probably the best choice. Well, let's talk about it later. And concerning the weight and size, the usual weight is from 3 to 4 kilograms, and it's like 4 to 5 times less than a bike weight. And the size, yeah, it allows you just to pick your board in your hand and go take a bus or a metro train or whatever, and even taxi. So taxi drivers, they are usually okay with the longboard in your luggage apartment, so that's totally fine for them. And by the way, look, now I'm filming this video and one of my hands is holding the camera, but when I just doing ride without filming, both of my hands are free, so I can take whatever I need. For example, some bag or my wife. So yeah, that's okay. Let's go further. I have a plan. I have written some kind of plan for this discussion. I'm not sure I will follow it, but okay. So why aren't we experiencing a lot of longboard drivers around us? So here in Serbia, there used to be a community actually, and they were 4 or 5 years ago here. It was a big community. But then it dissipated, and right now there are maybe like not more than 10 Serbian guys riding here, at least, that show up somehow. And most of the new guys that ride longboards, they are actually Russians that came here to live. So overall, we have a group in Telegram. Our community has a group in Telegram. Please feel free to join. All the links are in the description to this video. And now there are like 50 people there, including me. Most of them are Russian-speaking people. Yeah, I know that Serbs, they don't use Telegram. They prefer Viber and so on. But you know, the community is driven more conveniently in Telegram. Okay, so what could prevent us from longboarding on a day-to-day basis, every day, for example, for a work or to the study? Yeah, there are, of course, many factors. Climate is one of them. Summer is really hot here, and it's like it can be like 40 degrees for several weeks in a row. But you know, somehow we managed to go out and ride. How we do this? We don't do this during the daytime, so it is usually morning or evening. And during the winter time it can be cold, up to 0 degrees, and sometimes in Belgrade a little bit even less. Of course, in some cities that are located in the mountains, the temperature would be quite the same. Oh, by the way, look, this is one of the, well, of the factors that prevent us from gaining the community. It is called steep hill. So Belgrade is full of steep hills, and the very important thing, skill to manage, is called monga pushing. Monga pushing is when you push your board with the other foot, like this is my normal pushing. I lay on my left foot and I push with my right foot. But when I do mongo, I change the legs. This allows me to push with both of them, changing them, and so on. Some guys also do a thing called switch, when you change your stance like 180 degrees. But I don't do this. Mongo push is actually okay for me to overcome all these hills in Belgrade. So you see, I am moving on these tiles, uphill and downhill, and I find no problem. So you might ask, do you not experience any problems? Yeah, actually there are some factors. Oh, this is my fault. This is my bad technique of mongo pushing. Okay. So yeah, I experience, of course, some inconveniences, but large wheels and the deck that flexes under my weight, they make this effect, well, moderate. So I can ride even on surfaces like this easily, many kilometers in a row, and don't be in discomfort. So I'm okay with this. You see, the camera shows all this surface and how I just ride straight. I can maneuver, I can turn, brake and push and do everything. Well, maybe I cannot pump on these tiles because they are, well, not very comfortable for it, and I'm afraid to lose control during this. But all the rest is totally fine. Yeah, again that same. Yeah. So okay. Many guys here actually drive electric bikes and electric kick scooters because they are afraid of these steep hills. But as I've said, I am just a guy, not a sportsman, and if I manage to ride these hills, then this is probably okay. For those of you who would like to try, there is nothing awful in it, so it's just a hill. Okay, so another factor preventing is an absence of local communities. Here in Belgrade, most of the guys I know, they actually do not commute, and they are not interested in commuting. Many of them just work from home, or they are okay with taking the bus. But there is a longboarding community here, and most of those guys are dancers. So they use dancing longboards, and they do freestyle tricks and so on. So they well, those are just different types of boards. Maybe those boards that they have, they are not suitable for this type of terrain because they have smaller wheels and they have small stiff wheels, and they cannot roll over all these obstacles, bad tarmac and so on. So yes, and the decks are stiff, so it's just another way of longboarding. It is not commuting, it is dancing and freestyling. So they need more control when doing tricks, they need lighter wheels, and that's why those boards actually being great, but for this type of cobbles, of tiles, they are not the best choice. But anyway, when we ride together, all this can be overcome. So I see like all of them. Actually, yeah, I see that they are not very comfortable on such terrain, but well, several kilometers is usually not a problem. Maybe 20 kilometers, yeah, that would be tough, but not 1 to 3 kilometers. The other factor is the learning curve. Yeah, actually, this factor is significant because, like, most of us know how to ride a bicycle, and we learned it when we were just children. And when we sit on a bike, we need like several seconds to recall all our instincts and skills. So we just sit and ride, ready to go. In order to ride the longboard, you need to take some efforts, some lessons, maybe to fall several times, but it's up to you. Well, actually, I had already 3 students here in Belgrade, and all of them needed about 3 to 4 hours of exercising with me to just begin riding in the city without any problems. So it's like 3 to 4 lessons, 1 hour each, and after it they just feel safe enough to begin practicing and to ride. But yes, I call it the learning curve because you have to spend these hours just practicing in the park. Yeah, and so maybe the last factor is called availability, because at least, yeah, I know that in most European countries, in the United States, there is no problem with getting a good longboard. But here in Serbia, unfortunately, we don't have specialized longboarding shops with high-end boards. You see, we have like maybe 2 local shops that provide some longboards, and well, they are not bad, they are not great, but from my experience they are overpriced. But anyway, if you are a complete beginner, you can buy a board here in Serbia. There are options. When you feel that you are overgrown it, your skills become better and you need something more, you can just order the board from Europe. But of course, yeah, it's something that needs to be done. So you need to choose, you need to study a lot of material on the longboards, how they are constructed and so on, and yeah, probably to pay some custom fees, taxes and so on. All of my 5 boards that I own, no, four of my 5 boards that I own were bought by me in Germany and Netherlands, not in Serbia. Only one, the first one was bought in Serbia, in the local shop. And now I use it as a guest board, just I give it to my students and to some guys that are interested. So if you live in Belgrade, please send me a message. There is an option that you can just get the board for practicing for free, and you can just experience this fun when it is you and the asphalt and four wheels, and there is basically nothing between you. Yeah, it's really great fun. It's just another feeling. It is not like a bicycle, not like a car. It's something completely different, because you flow. I'd say this is like running, but more smooth and faster. So yes, I'm faster than most runners here. So average runner has average pace, well, maybe about 12 to 15 kilometers per hour. And for me, this is okay to go like 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. And of course, when I speed up, I can go 30 kilometers per hour and more. Once I competed with several runners. They were taking part in run competitions. I just wanted to measure their speed, and I did it, but definitely I could be faster if it was my intention. Now I'm in the park. Actually, after riding all these kilometers on the tiles, riding in the park on a smooth asphalt, it's a very good experience and feels so good. So, and in our parks here we also have some hills. So I have to move uphill and then downhill. And you may see that actually this is also a thing you can do easily if you are prepared, if you have good technique, if you fit enough. You should not be a sportsman. You should need to have technique and be fit enough. By technique I mean you need to be able to stand on one foot, relaxing with the other while you push, because it's really important. Yeah, this is carving. I'm losing my speed going downhill, but not with my foot, not with foot braking. Yeah, and you see this is very fun. Now I'm going at full speed, probably like 25 kilometers per hour. It was very fun. Now here is Kalemegdan. It's a park in the center of Belgrade. And what I'm doing here is I'm pumping uphill. So pumping, as you know, it is a way of gaining speed without pushing, without touching the ground. So this is what I do now. It's an advanced technique, and it needs some skill. So you should practice a lot to be able to do it. But then, after all, it feels very good when you can ride without touching the ground with your foot. It's like magic if you don't know about this technique. So, okay. So what board is okay for commuting and for cruising? Actually, it depends on the path. If you need to go 1, 2, 3 kilometers, any board is totally fine. Even the skateboard, usually this is okay. But the longer your distance is, the more comfort you would like, just believe me. So I have a board with a flex deck. This is very important because you have seen the cobbles and tiles and everything. Yeah, like this, like this. The flex of the deck gives me the ability to not receive all those pushes into my legs, so the deck compensates. And probably one of the most important things is the wheel size. So for Belgrade, I would not recommend wheels smaller than 80 millimeters. These ones I have here, they are McFly's 86 millimeters, and they are very soft, but they are maybe not the fastest wheels, but they are very comfortable because they are soft and they are large. So yeah, I can just roll over any obstacle on the ground and I feel extremely confident on them. That's why I will probably not change them to some more speedy wheels. Like, I know there are better wheels on the market, but these are very comfortable. I would highly recommend. Yeah, this is another example of carving. I do not want to brake with my foot, but I know what to do to lose some speed when going downhill. Yeah, now this is foot brake. Okay, so flexi deck, large wheels, and you would probably like to stand lower to the ground, and that's why probably some decks like this one from Pantheon Supersonic or Pantheon Trip, Pantheon Karma, loaded and land yachts, they also have some good decks for it. Actually, you can buy a ready-to-go complete from the shop. If you choose the right flex and the right wheel size, you will be fine. And for cruising, you need to have some basic skills, like right now I'm going a steep hill. I'm going down and I have to lose speed because I don't want to gain much speed because there are dogs and people here. It's just a park. So I'm braking with my foot. So the basic skills are pushing, foot braking, and of course, obviously turning, because you will need to change direction. There are also advanced skills that really help you. It's Monga push when you change your leg. It's carving and sliding to just have fun and to just drop speed. And of course pumping to gain speed without touching the ground. It helps a lot. Well, if you live near the hills, maybe you would like some proper uphill technique, because going uphill is a skill which needs to be developed separately. You actually need to know about all these inertia things, because you will be propelled forward and up not only by pushing your feet, but also by inertia things. So if you would like to learn more, get in touch with me. Probably I will make some other video. And by the way, look what I do with this board. I just roll it, taking it by the tail. So I don't have to carry it all the weight in my hand. I just roll it like a bag. Very cool. Yeah. So another skill of being okay when commuting in the city is not being afraid of the road traffic. If your city has crazy traffic and drivers trying to kill you every time, this is probably not very good. You will have to use bike lanes and some other safe paths, but here in Belgrade I feel relatively safe being on the roads, especially in the center of the city, because the speed limit is here and there. Yeah, and well, riding on the road with the cars, it is actually very easy. Here I break the law, I drive in the opposite direction, but because this is a one-side traffic street. But I have to go only several hundred meters, so this is probably okay, and it's early in the morning, so not many cars here. So everyone, I hope, is okay with it. The cobbles. Look at the cobbles. So for many guys, this is something you cannot roll over, but because of my deck, flexi deck, and my large wheels, I do it. I don't feel comfortable, of course, riding such big cobbles and stones, but if I need to, I just do it. Okay guys, the video is going to an end. Please join our community, ask us everything. Actually, the community we have is extremely friendly, because it is not virtual, it is not toxic. Yeah, you know, we meet each other in real life, we ride together, sometimes we suffer together, and it makes us very friendly and willing to help, and willing to meet the new members as much as possible. So join, ask us for advice concerning the longboards, where to ride, where to buy, what to know, so everything. So from the beginning, just write us, just join our chat, or just write comments under this video. There are so many ways of becoming a longboarder, but the path is you just get in touch with your local community, gather information, who rides what, where they get it, and sometimes the community has information about the guys selling stuff in the local area. So for example, here in Belgrade, one of the guys on the local site, he sold like 2 or 3 boards to the guys I know. So the community is always trying to help each other. Hope this was not too dull. Let me know. No, don't let me know what you think. I needed this video just to send it to the guys that think that who hesitate. So they may be like, longboarding, it's interesting, but can I like afford it? Can I be safe on the longboard? Can I ride it in Belgrade, and so on? So now every time I meet such a guy, I send him the link, and you do the same. Should you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Ciao.